All right, family. Raise first. This is our business meeting, and we want to continuation on what we started talking about last time. We started talking about starting the real estate investment trust as one of our first businesses. Um, and of course, the real estate investment trust could be leveraged to start our bank, our our African Communities League investment fund that Garvey asks us to do. Today, I wanted to have a get started checklist so that we could get started and actually see what all is needed to move forward, so we can actually start creating business for ourselves. It's worldwide, commercial, and industrial. So I'm gonna share the checklist here. We'll get started. I'll read over it, and then we can have any questions. Anybody have any comments before I jump in or questions? All right. Perfect. Share my screen. All right. Everybody see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right. Not sure why it's green, but all right. It's a get started checklist. I'm gonna read over it, and then we'll kind of see, answer any questions. So the first stage, step, we got to research and plan, which I know we've done some. I've done some. So with that, we got to develop a comprehensive business plan. In that business plan, we're going to put in our investment strategy, a target market, and some financial projections based off of what we think we could do. And we got to consult, legal consultation on how to seek legal advice from professionals specializing in real estate securities laws to guide us through the registration process. We have to actually get registered and register our real estate investment trust. Of course, I have some ideas in mind, but we definitely should seek legal advice on how we should register that. That's going to be one of the first steps that we do. Then with that, we have to have a strategy on how we're going to acquire capital and how we're going to acquire the properties. And one of the things that we discussed as a group, I think we discussed it before in a previous meeting. So we'll determine the initial capital requirement, how much we need and devise a strategy to get it. Basically, we consider factors such as property types, locations, and investment timelines. So with each property that we are trying to acquire, we will always have a strategy on how to do that. But next, we'll be forming the entity, because this goes right along with getting it registered. We will have to establish the legal entity structure for the REIT. Is it going to be a corporation or trust? And make sure it's in compliance with all the regulatory requirements. So that goes along with legal consultation. The number 5 is assigning roles. We're going to identify and appoint key team members to roles such as board of directors, property manager, financial officers, legal advisors, and more. We need to clearly define responsibilities, and we're going to actually go into that. This assigning roles going over talking about what roles we'll have and what needed, so that we can just start and get started small. Draft and governing documents. We have to do articles of incorporation and the bylaws. Whenever you're creating an entity where you're going to be investing, you have to have these in place. Oh yeah, well, of course you have to outline how we're going to operate our operating procedures. So that our shareholders, people who want to invest in it, that's one of the goals, is for us to make this a vehicle where people can invest in, and they'll come along that's why it says shareholder rights. Of course, we know the Black Star Line was a great tool, and I'm hoping this will be a tool where we can recruit members and they will be excited. So then we have to go through the registration process, of course. Prepare and submit the necessary registration documents, ensuring compliance, we're redundant on that. We have to do capital raising strategy. We would talk about that. It could be a fundraiser, emails, events, of course, how we begin raising capital and acquiring properties. Then once we launch, we want to have like a first meeting, launch event where we kind of talk about that we're having a REIT and or what we're doing to the community, so that we would set a kind of have a launch meeting. And kind of just talking about the importance of having that launch meeting here. And so those are kind of the next steps. Going back to step one. Anybody have any questions or comments? Now, I wanted to go into the key roles really quickly that we would need to operate a real estate investment trust. We talked about it before a long time ago, but there are four major roles, four major teams. And one of the goals is to have one of our people from the executive body to be over each team, or find someone to lead each one of these four different teams. The first team is the acquisition team. I mean, in no particular order, they all will be working. But the first team is the acquisition team. They're responsible for identifying and acquiring new properties for the trust portfolio. They conduct market research, property evaluations, and even negotiate with sellers. It does require some knowledge of real estate, market trends, financial analysis, and these things we could definitely learn. The second one is the property protection team. Property protection team, they ensure the security and safety of the trust properties, manage the public relations to maintain a positive image of the trust within the community. Requires knowledge of security protocols, crisis management, effective communication skills. So basically protecting us in the realm of the other governments, and the protection is making sure that we aren't scrutinized and things like that. PR, basically, public relations. Next team would be the distribution team. They develop strategies for the use and management of each property that we acquire, and that will be, of course, executive body. We've decided on it's going to be a rental, sale, development, or other utilization options for each property. Requires understanding of the property management, of course, market analysis, and strategic decision making. And the last team will be the cultivation team, with focus on restoring and improving each property that we have. For the better, of course, to increase its values, functionality. So basically, these are construction crew. So these are the four different teams that's needed, and that's number 5 on the checklist of signing roles. But these other steps, business plan, legal consultation, deciding how we're going to acquire properties before that, and of course forming the entity so we can get it registered. Could be all done simultaneously while we are signing our roles. Anybody have any questions, comments?
Can we get a copy of that checklist?
Sure.
I got
One thing in the protection area that I was getting listening for was what about from a legal aspect? Do we need legal assistance to be able to protect and maintain the properties?
Yeah, I mean, yes. The public, yes, definitely knowledge of. That's what knowledge of kind of um public relations. I can say we this team want to make sure that any outside dealings that they know all about that we are protected from everything. So definitely on the legal front as well. Any kind of public relations when it comes to dealing with any other entities trying to sue us or anything like that. Yes. So
Okay, thank you.
legal as well. Yeah, that works. Yes.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
This business initiative, does it need to be registered?
Yes. We do need to register the business, and so we have to determine, of course, how we going to what the entity going to be formed as. Of course, it's trust. Then we have to draft governing documents like our bylaws up and our articles of incorporation, and we have to register the business. So we want to seek maybe a CPA who does it. It's probably one of the next steps. The second step is to consult with a person who has registered one of these before, who understands the registration process of a real estate investment trust.
Okay, thank you. And so, I'm sorry about that interruption.
No, it's okay. Anybody have any other questions?
Yeah, I've got one more. When I was listening back to what we had discussed last month, one of the items that you brought up was training. Where would the training come from? Would we have to find? Yeah, where would training come from?
Well, we would definitely find materials and create materials that's out there to run each role. So that's what I mean. They have plenty of books on how to acquire property in different strategies. So we would develop a training each week based off of research from each role that's needed.
Okay, based on internal research, kind of.
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha. Thank you. Look like we lost a few people.
We did.
What the heck? Lost three people?
I can't see.
Ross, Lady President, and I don't know who the third person was. It was Dean, some Dean.
I didn't know who Dean was either. So the next step is the business plan, and then that's to try to find counsel to get us registered. There will be a cost to get us registered. So, and then I think the next step is assigning roles, or finding people who want to volunteer for those roles. Not necessarily signing them, but
how many roles are there again? Is it these 5 or
4? I mean, the number we all right now. We at step 1. We gotta acquire properties. We gotta come up with a property acquisition strategy. So, The first training will be around I guess acquisition. We'll talk about the many different ways we can acquire properties and what the best route we want to take. And I mean, because we talked about it before, different ways of getting property, adverse possession or purchase it, the medium will be tax liens as well. And of course, having them donated to us, gifting them to the trust. 4 different strategies, but that's the next step. So I know.
I just want.
Go ahead. Jump in.
Can I go ahead?
Yes.
I just want to share that I know that this kind of business is a very lucrative business and it doesn't run out. It's a lifetime thing. It's forever a need. It's needed. And if we can really pull this one off, then we have set a good foundation for future generations to come. And depending on what our agreements will be, whether, how, there's a lot of paperwork that needs to go into this. Like when you're talking about what's the return on investments and what are the shares, who gets how much and so on. There's a lot that needs to go into it. But if we can get that all pulled off, put together and pull it off well, we will really be very successful I'm I'm sorry, in a short space of time. For instance, here in Staten Island, there's a building that has been standing for over 20 years. And from what I heard, what people say, if a building has been standing idle and you go and you occupy it, and if you've been in it for over 30 days, no one can throw you out, you know. So that was the school, but it's been abandoned now. It's just been there for over 20 years. And I was thinking, if maybe we could also look into that one. And I don't know, there's a lot that we could do. Are we, some of these places, are we going to take them to turn them into some sort of business, or we're taking them to buy, to renovate and make money out of them? All those strategies. What's our approach actually? Is it just houses or is it buildings as well? Or what are we focusing on?
Right. And so the goal is for it to be kind of ever changing. Each property that we acquire, we assess it individually. So that will be that third property distribution team, which would be the executive body, where we would have a strategy for each property when it come in and figure out what this is for rental space. If we want to sell it, do we want to develop it, how we want to use it, because it's going to be ever changing. Someone will be worth trying to go get capital for. Someone will be, we'll have different usage types to it. So it'll be ever changing. Each one, we would possibly do it differently, not necessarily have one set approach.
Okay, thank you. So there's a lot of work to be done to research on that specific property as
Yes.
to whether we can take ownership and how we go about taking that ownership. For
Yes.
instance,
Yes.
abandoned buildings that's just been standing for over 20 years.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, that, like I said, so right, we talked about, there's 4 ways to really acquire property. So of course, we know buying it, or paying the taxes off, and like you mentioned earlier, just grabbing the properties and being in them. That's called adverse possession. So that's one strategy that I know we talked last time about it, and I know a lot of the consensus was on doing the tax liens from what I remember from last conversation as one of the best ways. But for me, I don't necessarily want to rule that off the table, adverse possession, but I know it's up to the body on how we want to move. And I guess when we look at each property, we'll be able to assess, do we want to do it that way or another.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I just wanted to use as an example. I was building a kind of like a real estate app a long time ago. And it's like do this real estate thing. And this app allows us to go on and list properties to be able to do that research that we need. We can, if someone sees a property, but I'm going to, can rebrand it if it needs to, but this is the app I built. I wanted to start my real estate business a long time ago. It's just the Nature and Agriculture Growth and Rehabilitation Unit, Community Development Authority. So, but and I'm logged into as a UNIA. But you can go in here, put in property details, your name, email, whoever, your phone number. You probably only know. You can take a picture of the property. Any images you have there, you can go to your camera, put a picture up there, asking price, property detail, property conditions, the neighborhood conditions, what are the address for the property, and you can submit it, and it will have a database of properties that we need to research or can research or want to research. So I wanted to show this as an example of operation procedure on how we could move, going forward to be able to run our process easier.
Wow, that's a beautiful app.
Thank
Lovely.
you.
Well done.
So, the app. And of course, if we have properties listed or for sale, that's what that section right here was for.
Wow. Like right now, I'm sitting in my car. I'm in Ashburn. I arrived 7 o'clock this morning. I came for orientation to do some work. And I'm sitting in the car and I'm wondering where to go, where it's a reasonable accommodation. So maybe that's also something we could look into, offering, reasonable accommodation in each state.
Yes, the having short-term rentals is definitely a business strategy. Unlike Airbnb, where we if we all have properties that we own, and we could have our own Airbnb system.
Yeah, that will really be so good. Really.
So much that we can't do. A nation, not a nation without any land, and we have to get our land one piece at a time. Oh yeah, let me send this. Anybody have any questions? Let me see. It's not gonna. Share to you, President John. Get this out. Okay. Any questions or?
Yeah, I'm here.
It's a great proposal.
My statements would be we need to have regular meetings. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of just rehashed same thing we talked about last month for the most part.
Yeah, try to make it clear on how to get started. What's the next step? So yeah, we need to just get started, basically. So the main thing I wanted everybody to understand was the roles more clear. And you know, I know I didn't get a strong commitment last month on people who wanted to be involved. But you only need a few. For me, if I have to do each of them, if it's green light for us to go ahead, I'm gonna start moving as ready to go.
I think we just had a couple people. Who's Chris?
Greeting, brothers. Race first.
Greetings. Who's that?
Brother, I'm in Toronto, Canada.
Okay,
Right.
greetings. You just joined for the CBP for Ross.
Yes, Ross Marvin gave me the link.
Okay. No problem. Okay, interesting. All right, no problem. Thank you, brother, for joining.
That's a good. Give thanks.
Thanks. Well, basically, welcome. I can't see who all just came in, but we are discussing acquiring real estate for a real estate investment trust. Talking about the roles needed to be able to execute our process. The acquisition team, property protection team, our distribution team, our cultivation team, and talk about the steps that we need to do to go forward and that we will be executing going forward to get started. The next step is that we'll be doing a business plan. We'll be looking to seek to professional to help us get registered. We'll define our capital acquisition strategy. And this is redundant. I'm gonna take this out right here. Forming the entities basically get registered. And of course, we're assigning roles. Check it out.
I think Brother Crest has his hand up.
All right.
Yes, give thanks, brothers. You know what? I see why Ross Marvin invited me. I'm actually a realtor as well, and I focus in commercial and investing in real estate. So, and I actually have some project and a few projects that I have access to in the U.S. So I'm definitely hopeful that I'll be able to add a ton of value to this venture.
Great to have you, brother. Great to have you. So, are you familiar with REITs?
Yes. Yeah, right. As soon as I started reading it, I said, wow, this seems kind of familiar. And as you start talking about it, yes. But I'm familiar with REITs in the sense of, are you talking about creating your own REIT?
Yes.
Okay, well, yes, of course.
Awesome. Well, give thanks. I will definitely share my information with you, and need your help to get this thing off the ground and going. I've studied a lot, and I'm sure with your experience in executing, we could. It's going to be great.
For sure, brother. I even have land ready to go. So we'll have those discussions, but yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
Right.
Russ Marvin's joining now.
Okay.
Looks like you can see, but he don't have no audio.
I'm seeing you a copy, President John. Okay.
Okay.
All right. President Ross come back in.
Still no audio for him.
Okay. All right. Well, family, man, our next step is to get the business plan done. I will be definitely consulting with uh, brother here. What's your name again, brother? I'm sorry.
Chris, so I go by Ras Ionine.
Ross I and I. Nice to meet you, brother.
That's it, though.
Yeah.
But brother, yeah, what makes this again from my standpoint, like I said, the key thing is just regular meetings. We gotta have regularity. I know we went out to HEC, but we just gotta have this as a regular meeting.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, I will definitely send out an invitation to regular meetings. And you know, I'm thinking about the best step is for me to just kind of lead a meeting for each different team as we get to it. As we get to each section, the first one we're really focus, like we said, we're gonna focus on the acquisition team, and we have to create an acquisition strategy. So, I guess next Thursday, or we need to meet throughout the week. I'm definitely okay with I believe that this should be a venture like a corporation or a company, and the people who want to be involved, we could do this every day.
Well,
And
Thursday is good for now. Whether it's every Thursday or every other Thursday, that's more so where I was going. Just regular Thursday meeting. Once we get things more staffed, we can have more regular meetings more often.
sound like a plan.
I pray the Adam brothers.
Yes.
Yeah, Thursday would work best for me as well, but I do want to say, for for the family, I'll make myself available, 24/7, basically.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Definitely.
We'll definitely reach out for your contact information and reach out to you and move forward. All right. Because I don't want to just hold anybody. I'm not sure if you have anything else. This was the main thing I wanted to focus on with these roles and responsibilities. Make sure we know what we are doing going forward.
Yeah, I don't have anything. Like I said, for me, the main thing is, as you said, just keeping the meetings going for the office. So I'm happy with progress we made today. When do we post them? When are we meeting again? I think that'll be the one other thing.
I think I want to meet next Thursday and go over what that the first trying to get the business plan and the investment strategy, and we can go over that next week and see what people get feedback. Or every 2 weeks. If somebody else wants to had that day already, they don't want to do anything. I know.
We can go for next Thursday.
All right. So like a plan.
Everybody okay with that?
I second.
Sir.
All right. Yeah. I'm good. Thank you, First Vice President.
All right. Next Thursday, we'll end with the. You gonna close it out, President John?
No problem. If you would, please put your black fist in the air. Repeat after me. One God.
One God.
One aim.
One aim.
One destiny.
One destiny.
Africa.
Africa.
For the Africans.
For the
Africans.
Those at home.
Those at home.
And those abroad.
And those abroad.
Race first, family.
Race first.
Yes.
Great job, First Vice President.
Thank you.
Peace, everybody.
So, well, brother, I'm not sure how you want to exchange contacts, but you can definitely get my contact from President John or Ras Marvin.
I will do.
Nah, Brother Majors, get his information right now. Don't play.
All right. What's the number, brother?
You still
Right.
sharing your screen, Brother Majors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all right. I guess it's as family. Hey, we know how
I'm
we.
trying to figure out how to stop sharing, President John, but there it is.
Well, or Ras Cyanide.
Ross I9. All right. I'm sending you a text message right now.
No, I didn't get it yet, but do you have to? Maybe you have to add the 1 before the 647. Sorry about that.
Did you get it?
No, I should have got it by now. Oh, yeah, I did. Yes.
Oh. All right.
Just got it.
We definitely will be in contact. I think I'll give you a call tomorrow if you are available. You say you're available 24/7. I do have some time tomorrow. We could definitely speak.
Brother, I think you and I tried to connect earlier. I think last year, first year at the HEC. But
Possibly so.
yeah, because the number was probably a different number I have. But blessed. Yeah, give me a call tomorrow. If you wanted to give me a call later this evening, but yeah, give me a call tomorrow and let's go into it.
All right, brother. Race first.
Race first. Blessed love, everyone.
Race first, family.